So, I mean, we wasn't here to react to the game, but we all
Mhm.
watched the game. I mean, one of the highest rated Monday night football games in a long time. I don't got the actual numbers with me right now, but I don't know. Davey Shefton might throw that out there in a second, but I'm just saying one of the highest rated Monday night games, and it didn't turn out the way some people thought it was. You know, they had the best quarterback in the league going up against one of a all pro quarterback. So we got to talk about it. You know,
No
you got a
chief
new
at
chief
QB.
at QB. I mean, Jalen Hurts found his footing in that second half as the Eagles rallied back to win 21-17 in their Super Bowl rematch against the Chiefs on Monday night. So we got to talk about our reaction. Dave, I'm gonna start with you.
Mm. It was uh, to me. I think just about almost everyone thought it might be an offensive kind of game. Um, but that was a defensive battle. Um, it came down to the Chiefs only scoring 17 points and the Eagles only putting up 21, but it helped them win the game. I'll say this though. It feels like I feel like Jalen Hurts needs to get better at being able to um anticipate the blitz a little bit. Seemed like he was kind of sort of having some issues last night against that Chiefs defensive line, which is a top five defense this year. A lot of people probably did not expect it to be this good. I know Joe said that this would be the best defense that Patrick Mahomes will have coming into his career, but it being top five, I don't think anyone thought that. But Trent McDuffie had a good game yesterday. I mean Monday, and then L'Jarius Sneed pretty much didn't let AJ Brown do whatever he wanted. I think he only had one catch for about 7 yards, and he's been dominating like the last few weeks. Chris Jones had 2 sacks in the game, but um, them Chiefs receivers, man, I feel like they need to be your done son because it seems like he had he threw the ball at least perfect like 3 times, and all three were dropped. Kelsey dropped a pass,
Emotional damage.
and then the catch that would have won the Chiefs the game by Marquez Valdez Scantling. You know that was egregious. And then on the fourth, it was like fourth and what 25. He threw the ball and it was dropped again. They could have converted on fourth down, crazy on fourth and 25, and the wide receiver dropped it. Um, but credit to some of the receivers. Bradbury didn't get targeted that much, so he didn't. All he had was one tackle. Did throughout the whole game. Slade pretty much played a pretty good game, and I mean, Hurts now on the season has 9 interceptions. Ooh. Oh, shout out to Donnell, Mr. Sunday game day. That's our Sunday game day guy. But did he really do it as a quarterback or running back? Hashtag Mark, I got you, bro. Hashtag R2L. Hashtag Eagles suck. Hashtag uh, mm, Dallas Cowboys for life. Hashtag Jimmy in the ring now.
Only because of the super chat. That's all.
He couldn't wait. He couldn't wait for that. But that's pretty much my analysis. I feel like it was a good game overall, and I mean, this is supposed to be the tough slate for the Eagles, and so far they've won those games. They beat the Dolphins. They just beat the Chiefs. They got the Bills on Sunday, and they're going to win. They're wearing the Kelly Green jerseys again, so we'll see what happens.
Joe.
Yeah. So I didn't think it would be an offensive battle. I kind of knew it would be a defensive battle. Number one, Chiefs defense is great. Number two, Chiefs offense is not great right now. All right. So I kind of figured it would be a defensive battle.
It's pretty
But
peachy.
watching that game, Hurts was having probably his worst game all year, in my opinion. He had his worst game all year. And the defense get a lot of credit for that. The Eagles defense, holding the Chiefs scoreless in the second half, getting the Eagles offense opportunity after opportunity to capitalize on a lead. It's not to capitalize on a lead, to get a lead, which they did. So the defense did a great job. All right. Mahomes, I know we gonna kill the receivers. Mahomes didn't have a good game either. Mahomes threw a red zone interception. Travis Kelce fumbled in the red zone. Mahomes was missing people wide open. It was miscommunication between him and receiver. Mahomes didn't have a great game either. If he would have played his game, they would have won, but he didn't. So we can't. I know. Listen, he ain't excuse on that drop. I'm sorry, like you were wide open. Mahomes could have put a better ball on that, but still, it touched both of your hands. You gotta catch that. You an NFL receiver, man. I mean, so he gotta make that catch. So, but we gotta get Jalen Hurts some credit, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta get Jalen Hurts some credit. One thing I can say about them Eagles, they believe in your boy. They believe in Jalen Hurts. That defense showed out because they knew if we get the ball with a chance to win the game, our guy gonna come through. And that's what happened. He got the ball with an opportunity to win the game. First, he used his legs, although everyone said, right, to get that touchdown. And then he looked off the receiver. They put Devontae Smith in the slot, which they always say about CD, right? They put Devontae Smith in the slot. Jalen Hurts looked him off, threw that jump, put it on the money. He caught it. Next thing you know, touch push touchdown. So I give him credit. One thing about Jalen Hurts, he's never rattled. He's the same person, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. And when your leader is not rattled, the team is not rattled. All right? So I give him credit for that. He's even kill. And so this team is never too high, never too low. When you listen to them talk after the press conference, they're focused. They're disciplined, right? Now, Nick Sirianni is a different story. He a roller coaster. I mean, his emotions be showing. Like, he up and down. But sometimes you need that. It's kind of remind me of, I'm not comparing him to this player. Jalen Hurts is like Jokic. They both even kill. Mike Malone and Sirianni, they firecrackers. They can say anything, but Nick Sirianni kind of. I mean, Mike Malone was talking after they won that championship. So I gotta get on credit, right? So now, but the Chiefs, they showed the rest of the league something. Blitz Jalen Hurts. Put pressure on him. He doesn't do well with pressure in his face. Against the Jets, against the Chiefs, those are the two teams that actually put pressure on him the whole game, and he didn't do well in both of those games. All right, so this is going to be a test for Jalen Hurts going forward. I feel like the Bills going to put pressure on him. The 49ers going to put pressure on him. The Cowboys going to put pressure on him. I think people are going to take this and use it, and this is an opportunity for Jalen Hurts to get better, so it won't affect them in the playoffs. So kudos to the Eagles. They deserve that W. Great job to them.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so there's two things that you said here, Joe. One, Michael Malone was talking after the job was done.
Ooh.
And what he was saying was kind of true, because most of the stuff that was like, he was coming off like, oh, so y'all think we not good? Boom. Sirianni, he kind of gives you the front runner, like kind of. Whoa, my phone thought I was talking to them, not you, Siri. I'm talking about Nick. All right, but
I didn't get that.
See what I'm saying? So look, with the Eagles coach, he more is kind of like what you say about Swift, right? Like, oh, he don't say too much when they down, but when they up, what was the first thing he did? He did the little clear the runway all down the sideline. Like, okay, you like that. So you already know how I feel about the Eagles coach. But one thing I will say about the Eagles coach is he actually gives you something in the media. Because my one thing about the Eagles, kind of like what you said about Jalen Hurts, is the even killness. He's the same person from the beginning of the game to the post conference. Literally, the same exact person will give you 4 quotes and then just do the job. Like, that's cool. But sometimes you want your quarterback to give you just a little bit. Like, even when he score a touchdown, he's just like, and walk off. It's just like, okay, tush push. Bro, you got like 15 people pushing you. You need to celebrate at some point. Anyway, back to talking about this game, right? The Chiefs let me down because what did you say, Joe? Their defense. Their defense did exactly what they were supposed to do. They were shutting down the run when they had to. Swift, of course, had to. Most of the runs where Swift was getting his yardage, he had to make someone miss. It wasn't like he was just running straight up the gut like he normally was in some of these games. He had to make someone miss, then get his yardage. Another thing is Chris Jones was like, I told y'all should have paid me. because he was making an impact that entire game.
He was.
That's more so what I had to say about the Chiefs, because we already knew what the wide receivers was there. We knew that they had opportunities to drop the ball. Kelsey, you let me down with the fumble. I watched that drive, and I said at some point they're going to punch this ball out. I don't want them to, but that's exactly what happened, because you could just see how he was carrying the ball. MVS, I'll leave that for another day. Let's talk about the Eagles right quick. Let's give the Eagles a little bit of credit here, because I noticed this in all their games. I keep saying they win ugly, but look at it like this. Good teams do what? They take the ball away and they don't turn the ball over. How many times have we watched the Eagles almost have a fumble but get the ball back? The interception that Hurts threw, that almost turned into a fumble recovery from A.J. Brown. Like, that just shows you the discipline that this team has. On defense, they don't have that many penalties. They've been penalized 54 times this season. That one Dolphins game where they was 10-0. So they know how to play controlled football. Another thing that good teams do is they capitalize on them turnovers. So again, once you turn the ball over against the Eagles, they're looking to score. They did that in that Dolphins game. I don't think the Cowboys turned the ball over in their game. However, when the Cowboys did get a turnover, they didn't capitalize on it. That's how you put the Eagles away. So they're finding ways to win. Their quarterback is making plays when it's time to make plays, and that's what happened on Monday night. Because to be down 17-7 in Kansas City, you're supposed to lose that game. They didn't pitch the second half shutout. So the Eagles defense showed up. Technically, they didn't have to work that hard because, MVS was dropping the ball. But to me, it showed me that the Eagles are who they say they are. They want to be one of the best teams in the NFL, and they're showing up every week, no matter how grit or grind or which way they need to, they're going to win that game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the Eagles winning that game helps them because they got this tough stretch, and they win these games. Now, the Chiefs, I won't be too worried about the Chiefs because we've seen this before. They lose in the regular season to one of these teams, and they see them in the playoffs, and it's a different story. We saw the Bills roll up in Arrowhead, beat them. We saw the Bengals roll up in Arrowhead and beat them. And both of those teams lost to them in the playoffs. But I'm a little worried about that offense, though, man. Kelsey will have to give more, even though he's giving a lot right now. So, but them receivers, man, they got. But Mahomes got to play better. If Mahomes played good, they win that game. So Mahomes, I'm not gonna put it on the receivers for real because we knew that, like you said, coming into this game.
Yep. So, with that being said.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all at the next episode.